Don't click off the video yet. Please just hear us out, okay? We know we warned you guys about this on the last video. If you guys made it to the end of that one, if you did, thank you. And thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for watching this if you're not a fan of the series that we're talking about today. But Jake and I are back today to talk about Fairy Tail, an anime which we both actually really enjoyed.
Yep.
And a lot of people have mixed opinions on Fairy Tail. I can see why. I think you can understand. And we're going to talk about why we think that Fairy Tail doesn't suck today. So let's hop right into it. You got any points to make?
So, first of all, Fairy Tail is very associated with One Piece.
Yeah.
And, like, we've seen the images, we've seen, like, the photos, and there is some similarities. Like, when we see Gildarts, we see Shanks.
Yeah.
It feels like a bit of a ripoff.
Yeah.
But at the same
you see
time...
Bible Boy, you see Kuma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, their characters are completely, like... They are similar as, like, they're both, like, mentors.
Yeah.
But... Shanks is like super cool, and Gildarts is kind of like a goofy dad.
Yeah, exactly. So there are a lot of differences. People that call Fairy Tail a poor man's One Piece, I don't agree because they're completely different. They don't have similar storylines. A lot of their characters don't have. Well, I mean, yeah, most of them have tragic backstories actually, except for like Natsu is like a little dialed down.
Yeah.
But all the other main cast have like
not super like Gajil and Wendy, not really.
Wendy's is pretty bad when you think about it.
Well,
she was left with a fake guild, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, yeah. So there are tragic backstories, but you need tragic backstories to make a lovable and good cast of characters. And that's the big thing for me is that Fairy Tail has found a formula. Where they somehow have made this huge guild with so many members. There, you have One Piece's 9 straw hats with a few add-ons here and there, but Fairy Tail is like 30.
Yeah,
you have 30 characters that are memorable and that each have distinct roles. Obviously, some more than others, which is the same case as in One Piece. But they're all really memorable characters. That's what I really, really like.
Yeah, and most importantly, you're given time to learn about these characters and have, like, grow attachment to them and be like, oh, this is, like, their funny little quirk, but also they have, like, more to them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that Fairy Tail needed to be as long as it is right now, and it's not done for those of you who do watch the anime and don't read the manga, like us. Fairy Tail is not done, and it's planned to continue in 2018. But from what we've seen so far, there should be either 2 to 3 main arcs still left to be done. But the character development that has been done all across the ones that we already have is just fantastic, and we have such great characters to work with. For those of you who are fans of Fairy Tail, of course, we're talking about Natsu, Urza, Gray, Wendy, Gajil. That's pretty much it. We can jump right over Lucy because let's talk about Lucy.
Yeah, we can talk about something we do hate about Fairy Tail, and it's Lucy. I don't think she's a very good main female lead.
I don't think so either.
I feel like she doesn't do much.
I feel like she's helpless a lot of the time,
and she's outshined a lot of time. And the only thing about her is her sex appeal.
Yeah, and her magic itself.
Her magic's awesome.
But her magic itself is reliant on other characters.
Yes, it's
so true. That I don't like that she can't fend for herself. Like you take a comparison between Nami and Lucy. Right?
Yeah.
And Nami fights for herself completely, you know? Like, obviously she fights for her friends, but she knows how to defend herself properly, whereas Lucy is completely reliant on other characters the entire time. Her celestial spirits, who... I mean, if they weren't living, breathing characters with dialogue... then maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
But because they are, and they have their own personalities...
You start to like the spirits more than
you like Lucy. Exactly.
Exactly. So. And I love the spirits. Like...
Yeah, Lucy's just really ditzy as well.
She's ditzy.
I don't like that about her.
Yeah.
Her boobs are great, but that doesn't make up for how...
Her only attack is a super Lucy kick, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty shitty, so that's one thing we agree on.
But I agree. Like, she's always putting, like, the damsel in distress, and it's like... it's hard to respect someone who's always thrown into that role.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not her.
And
It's
like,
no fault of her own.
Yeah, it's not. But also, it's comparing her to the other females in the series.
Oh man, you look at
Urza by herself.
Even Wendy.
Wendy's a super strong character.
Wendy's incredible.
Yeah, and like not One Piece, but Fairy Tail.
We both made the same mistake.
We're gonna be doing this quite a bit. We just
finished recording our last video. If you guys are wondering, breaking the fourth wall, but
breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Fairy Tail's group of women is like so vastly superior to One Piece. Like
by far.
Because
like One Piece, you have to go and fish for good female characters from across all arcs,
all the sea.
Yeah, exactly. Like Boa Hancock and stuff. But
in one arc of Fairy Tail, you have like
all of them were there. Yeah, especially the one where what's it called? Gajiel's old guild.
Yeah.
What are they called again?
Oh, I forget.
With Jose as the leader, or Jose. Sorry, Jose, I know if you're watching. I have a friend named Jose. That especially there, like you have the full female cast that's present almost at all times, except for when like the main crew go off on their own, like when you have the Nirvana arc and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you have really, really strong female characters and strong male characters across the, like you look at Roxas, Natsu, Gray. You have such good characters on both sides. Except for Lucy, so we're going to be professing our hate for Lucy quite a bit,
probably
during this. So that's the first thing that we really wanted to talk about is the great character development. How we feel there are at times it's a wider cast than One Piece, yet it's still able to maintain its character development. You're still interested in every single character, so that's really, really that's really, I don't want to say clutch, I want to say impressive. It's really impressive to me. So
to be given all that time to like really like, and you're able to remember all these characters too because you're given all these time, and I haven't watched the series in like a whole year.
I haven't watched it in a good 6 months, 8 months,
and
easily.
Like I still remember the characters, I remember the moments, and Fairy Tail's very memorable.
Yeah, exactly, and that brings us to our next point, which is the arc structure. Out of any anime that I've watched that's long-running or even short-running, I can tell you the order and the names of Fairy Tail's arcs probably better than I can Sword Art Online's, which I just recently watched.
And there's like 3.
And there's 3-4 arcs in Sword Art Online, and Fairy Tail has like 7 or 8 arcs, maybe 9. And I can even tell you like where the filler arcs are in Fairy Tail, which, by the way, are all decent to good, and they're not too big either.
They're like 2 or 3 episodes.
Exactly. So the arc structure is so good. They have distinct names to them, so you can easily identify them if you're talking about them with anybody that also knows the series.
And distinct premises. Like
exactly.
They're all different. They're all interesting mostly.
They usually focus on different main characters at a time. Yeah. So that's really awesome that they were able to really shine through each and every arc. If we're talking about our favorite arcs, Grand Magic Games
definitely
is up there.
I think it's unanimous that like everyone loves Grand Magic Games. Even people who don't like Fairy Tail agree that Grand Magic Games was a terrific arc.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
It brings everything you love about shonen.
Yeah,
and like
there's a time travel aspect. There's a tournament arc. There's everything in there, and it's really super well done. There's people dying.
There's fan service up the ass.
There is, but like the big thing for me was when people died. Yeah, because that was the first time. Like, obviously, it was reversed for anybody who hasn't watched this. Sorry, spoilers, but Gray dies.
Yeah.
I think Macau dies.
Future Lucy dies, but we're okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Who cares?
Take the presentation.
I actually have a theory about that. That's for another video, by the way. About that sunflower field that she's in, or whatever the hell the flowers are. But yeah, anyway. So, Grand Magic Games just has so many great elements to it. The deception, the lies, like I said, the time travel, the fact that we get dragons before the actual dragons show up, the ones that we want to see. It's really, that one's really good. Edalus
is another one of our favorites.
Ooh.
Definitely just a fun experience just to see everyone we know and just see the reverse of them.
Yeah, and it's a mirror world. It's an alternate dimension. It's where Mystigan's from.
Yeah, and we're like, where's Mystigan? When are we going to learn about Mystigan? And then
because we first see his actual face.
Yeah, and it's
before that, and so we're like, what the hell? What's going on? And then we're all wondering where the hell Happy and Carla are from,
Yeah.
and then they actually end up in Edelus, and all of these, how Happy freaks out.
Yeah.
Happy's freak out in Edelus
Yeah.
was amazing for
Top
me.
10 moments,
Oh
definitely.
yeah, for sure. He goes nuts, and he gets
Yeah,
Carla
and his
the
hair
hell
is
out.
like ridiculous when he gets mad too.
Yeah.
It's great.
And he gets Carla the hell out of there. But Edelus is just awesome. I love time travel, and I love alternate dimensions.
Yeah, me too.
And it was able to apply them both really, really well.
Yeah.
Gajil with Gajil.
Best.
Oh my god, reporter Gajil with Rocket.
I've never seen a better bromance in
Oh
my
my
life.
god, it's so good.
It's a very good arc.
Yeah, Edelus is really good. And then after that, everything else kind of falls into like
Good to
Yeah.
like great.
good to great. Exactly. We have like a Tower of Heaven, which was
It
fantastic.
never really gets to like I'm bored or like this
Yeah,
is not
that's
very
it.
interesting.
There
It's-
was
it's
only
always
one-
solid.
There was only one arc for me where I was
Yeah.
like, I don't give a crap
Which
about
one?
this arc, which was Starry Heaven.
Which one's that? It's the
The one with her doll, Michelle.
I like that one.
I'm not a huge fan of it because it felt like it was just a way to get the Erasion Sace back
Yeah,
into the story
but I
before
like seeing,
Tartaros.
I like Erasion Says a lot.
I
so
do
was
too,
happy.
but I felt like it was forced. I
Okay.
felt like the arc was forced, and at the end of the day, like Michelle's not a super important character. She's not that
Yeah.
memorable as compared to other antagonists
Yeah,
in the series.
but I love her design.
Yeah, that's another thing, by the way. We really like the fact that One Piece does this. Fairy Tail does this on a whole nother level. They take antagonists and make them protagonists.
Yeah,
Every single time. Gajil, Juvia.
Juvia.
You have
Loxus.
Loxus, Jalal, and it's all in different arcs. You have the Erasion Sace,
they're
who are
good.
eventually going to
Yeah.
end up joining up. And it's ridiculous. It's almost every arc.
Yeah.
Ultir, who's been with us since fucking Laguna
yeah.
Island. Is
Episode
it
of like
Laguna?
what?
It's not Laguna Island.
Something like that.
Anyway.
It's like
Galuna,
Okay.
that's it. I mixed up the lettering.
Yeah, it's like episode 15. You like meet her.
Yeah, it's really, really early. And, it's just, it does a great job at everything. We want to talk about characters that we like? Or what?
Sure. Well, definitely my favorite character is Urza.
Yeah, I think she's up there for me, too.
I think she's one of the coolest female characters ever conceived.
She's incredibly strong-willed, and super silly.
Yeah, exactly. She
She's
still has
so
this like
silly.
silly side, but she's also like super strong-willed and like fights forever. And
Like, I'll always remember the scenes where her cake falls on the
Yeah.
floor. Shit, when Natsu and Great just mess up her day.
when she
and
just
she's all
punches
sad.
Natsu, like what's
Yeah, exactly. She's awesome. Urza's one of the best female characters.
Yeah.
Top 5 for me ever.
yeah,
I
she's
would
up
say.
there with me as well.
Yeah. Who else do we like? Not Lucy. I said it would be coming up a lot, guys. You can't blame me. Gray, I feel
Yeah,
fell to the back burner a lot until we got to Tartaros, and then the focus
he
was like
back onto him
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was really weirdly done.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I guess when he died in Grand Magic Games, and
Just
then
a little bit.
came back to life, sort of, you know. Juvia's reaction to Grey dying.
Yeah, and Juvia is another character that I really love.
Oh my god, Juvia's
and
incredible.
I love that it's not a man chasing a woman like in like typical animes.
yeah,
And it's
exactly.
just- It's Juvia who's like chasing
It's
after
the other
him.
way around. Well, it's done on both levels. I've seen a lot of both.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right.
Yeah. So no,
But
I
from
like
what I've watched, because I didn't watch many animes at the time.
yeah, I like Wendy's voice in the dub
Oh, I like Wendy's character.
in general. Yeah.
She's like, I love when she goes like full dragon mode, Dragon Force.
Yeah. Exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah, Juvia is in here, and Urza's not actually in my top 10 characters list of all times. So I think I like Juvia more.
Oh, wow.
than I do. Juvia's just hilarious. Juvia
I
is.
didn't know
hilarious.
you were doing a top 10. I thought you were just putting your favorites.
Oh, you can only put 10 on the website. That's
Oh,
why I'm just
really?
looking at my anime list top 10 characters right now. So
Kakudo?
oh, yeah, Kakudo's up there for sure. Yeah, I just went through all of my my anime, and I was like, I really like this guy. This guy.
That's
this guy.
great.
Yeah. So yeah, that's any other characters? I really like Levy. Levy's super smart.
Yeah.
Kana's hilarious.
Gajil's like
Gajil's incredible.
Gajil's my favorite male character.
Yeah.
I find him hilarious when he plays guitar.
Yeah.
And like, look, we're just like talking about characters, and we just know all their quirks. I love that. And like,
nobody does that.
like Natsu is an interesting character in himself.
Yeah, exactly. He's there's a lot going on with Natsu at the end of the day.
Cool.
Yeah, I like a lot of the antagonists. Like the antagonists stick out to me.
Yeah.
Like
a
Zeref,
lot.
Agnologia, Hades, all of these. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of really memorable characters, and the fact that neither of us have watched we both caught up to the series. Jake about a year ago, and myself about 8 months ago, and we can both remember so many vivid details because it's imprinted on our minds. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way that Fairy Tail keeps you on the edge of your seat from episode to episode.
It is one of those that you need to watch the next one. Cause you
exactly. And even during the episode, when you have like freak out moments when you're like, oh shit, when you find out something important, something relevant to the story, and you're like, and they kept that from you, they hid that from the audience for so long, and then it's like, boom, here you go, this is the information you've been looking for, and it's not what you expected at all. It's just, it's really, really well done in that sense.
Yeah, so. I love that it has an overall plot, like One Piece.
Yep, exactly.
It keeps invested in, like, it's not as long as One Piece.
It's not going to end up being as long. No. It's only got, like, the manga's already done, so you can only expect, like, maybe another 100 episodes at most to go, so, well, depending on how long they end up doing it.
I think I had, like, 100 chapters left.
Yeah, that's less than 100 episodes easily.
Exactly.
That's like 60. But yeah, so we're going to talk about a little bit about the things that we don't like about Fairy Tail, because with any anime, there are things you're going to like and things you don't like.
Yeah.
Except with like your all-time favorite, obviously. And Fairy Tail's not my all-time favorite. It's in my top 10, but it's not all-time.
Top 20s, top 30s for me.
Yeah, you have a lot on your list. So one of the things is that the main character always wins.
Yeah,
and that's really annoying. That's some Sword Art Online level shit right there.
Yeah,
I don't like to see OP characters. It's not like Natsu doesn't struggle in his fights, because he does. But you don't see him pulling a Luffy crocodile, where he
loses, comes back,
and then ends up winning. You know,
and then loses again, he comes back.
But I feel like there's not enough time for that to some level.
Yeah,
you know.
Also, I don't like that he. This is something I've wrong with One Piece as well, is that it's always the main character who beats, like, the big bad. And, like, I would like, maybe, like...
But that you can attribute to any shonen, though.
It is. It is a shonen trope, which I don't like.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not something...
I'd like to see a side character beat a main character.
I would like Sanji to, like, beat a big character. I would like Gajeel to beat someone.
Yeah, and I can't think of an instance where that has happened.
It never happens.
Yeah.
He beats Jalal, he beats Loxus, he beats Pret, he beats...
does he beat Margear? I think it is
him
that beats
Margear.
Yeah. It's either him or Gray at the end of the day.
No, Gray beats his dad.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he just beats Silver. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying that Natsu always comes out on top. But again, the stakes are a lot higher, I think, because One Piece, it's been given the setting to where, like, you look back at Crocodile, it's been given the setting to where Crocodile didn't kill him. He just kind of left him there, and he was kind of saved. And it's the same thing again with the with Marineford, right? He's not the one that dies, but he doesn't end up winning at the end of the day. All he does is he comes out with loss. So that it's been set up correctly. Whereas Fairy Tail,
everything
it doesn't give you room for that.
Yeah, everything's like in like sections.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
until the end of Tartaros. That felt he lost. Yeah. Natsu lost that, but like he lost someone.
Yeah,
he didn't lose a fight.
Yeah, he didn't lose a fight. But that's what we're talking about mainly is the fights. So we'd like to see that. We do. There's nearly no filler. There's one filler arc that I really don't like, which is the Eclipse Spirits.
Yeah.
Out of the filler, everything else is okay because usually it's only in chunks of like two or three episodes.
I like Eclipse because I like the character designs of the
Eclipse Spirits.
Yeah, that kept me invested.
Yeah. What else don't we like? There's not too much.
There isn't that much about it. It's a solid anime. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but it doesn't deserve the hate it gets.
Yeah, it really doesn't. I think that people are a little too
negative about it.
I think a lot of that stems from people very strongly voiced strong opinions on an anime, really influencing how people look at it. Mm-hmm. Because I have talked to a lot of people who say that Fairy Tail's bad, but I've never watched an episode.
Yeah,
and I don't like that. I don't ever say that anything is bad without ever having watched it. You know, people were telling me Sword Art Online is good. Some people were telling me Sword Art Online is bad. I'm like, I'll make my own opinion. I'll watch it myself. So I know I've mentioned SAO like 3 times in this video.
It's something you've watched recently. So.
But it's a good comparison because it's a very divided anime.
For me, when I watched Fairy Tail first time, I shut it off. I didn't like it.
Okay.
But then I was like, okay, my friend is telling me that it's good, so maybe I should give it a second shot. And like, The first episode is not good.
You have to watch further into it. Like, you really... Aragorn, the very first arc, is not that great.
It's not, but when Urza used her ability, that's when I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then the second one with Grey was when I was like, okay, this is a good anime.
I mean, Heaven's Wheel, and then Galuna Island, Grey was okay, but it kind of felt just thrown in there with Leon and everything.
A little bit.
And then it all starts to make sense. Everything starts to mesh from that point on, because I think then we get Tower of Heaven.
No, we get Gajil, and then we get Tower of Heaven after.
Phantom Lord. That's it. That's fucking good. Phantom Lord, and then we get Tower of Heaven.
And this all happens in like 30 episodes, which is awesome. I love that.
Incredible. Four great arcs. So 2 that felt a little lighter, and then 2 that are really, really important to the story, all within like 30, 40 episodes. So that's really, really nice. It's got great pacing.
Yeah, it definitely has.
General, it doesn't drag on. It doesn't keep you needing like more information per episode. They really jam pack everything with as much as they can. And that really goes to show you how in depth of a story it is. Because when you have 270 somewhat episodes for an anime, you think, okay, well, 1, there must be a bunch of filler, and 2, the episodes must drag on like Dressrosa's arc in One Piece, but that isn't the case with Fairy Tail. Every single episode is important, and it all leads up to the ending of every arc. So
there must be like 15 episodes of filler max.
Well, if we count Eclipse Spirits, which is like 20 episodes on its own, and then there's like 3 more filler arcs that are all like 3 episodes each. Okay. So it's maybe like 29 episodes out of 270. You look at Naruto, and Naruto's like 130.
Yeah, but it doesn't even feel like filler when you watch it.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes I was like, wait, is this filler or not?
Yeah.
You know, because I couldn't tell. And then you find out it's filler, but you're not upset because some of the filler arcs are actually decent. Which is something that I should have done with One Piece. Actually, was I didn't get to see some of the filler arcs because I auto skipped them. By looking at a list on Wikipedia.
You did see the best one, at least.
Which one was that?
After Skypiea, when they fall into like...
No, I didn't.
You didn't even see that?
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay, you definitely need to watch that.
Yeah, I skipped every single filler arc, so yeah, blame me for that. But anyway, on Fairy Tail, I'll watch back the filler arcs at some point in One Piece. But back to Fairy Tail, what I'm saying is that every episode is really, really crucial, really important. And then, as a gift to the audience... at the very end, they give us the backstory to how it all started.
Okay,
how the guild starts, while we're waiting for more, because they still need to animate more episodes. It needs to start back up, which it will in 2018. And they give us the 10-episode backstory
of Fairy Tail.
Of everything, of the guild.
Yeah.
Zero was amazing. I loved it.
It was
intro,
really good.
Intro was amazing.
The intro is my favorite out of all Fairy Tail.
Yeah, out of all of them.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, it made you want more. Of like Mavis and the others. Yeah, it was well done. And
we know we're not getting any more of Yuri or Precht.
Yeah.
So those something that's a little bit of a conflicting thing that I don't like about Fairy Tail is Zero and the S-Class trial.
Okay.
Precht knows Zareth from his past.
Yeah.
Why is he surprised to see him and who he is and what he looks like when he boards his ship?
There you go.
Back in the S-Class trial. That's one thing that I've always scratched my head about. And if anybody wants to explain to me in the comments,
probably just a continuity error.
Yeah, definitely continuity. I think that was something that was greatly overlooked and something that shouldn't have. Yeah. Because I don't think it was planned from the beginning for Zareth to be the one that taught them.
Okay.
And that's why Precht was surprised to meet him. Whereas if that was actually thought through, then it would have been like, oh, it's you again, rather than it's you when in his dialogue. So that's just one little ick I have with the series, but it's a very minor thing. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But it just gives you the impression that the writer didn't think that far ahead, which is fine because he made a backstory when he didn't really need to. It's a gift. So yeah, that's pretty much all the points that I wanted to talk about. Do you have anything else on your mind? You want to talk about how good of a gateway anime it is?
It is a good gateway anime. It's not too heavy. It's quick. It's fast. The characters are lovable.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's quick and fast when we look at things like Death Parade and other shorter anime, but I get what you mean.
But it's okay for a shonen. It's like quick and fast. If you're like Dragon Ball or
Naruto, One Piece,
like the big three.
Yeah, Bleach. Yeah.
So if you want to get into shonen, I feel like it's a good entryway because it was like I watched this before One Piece,
Yeah, and you liked it,
and like I liked it a lot,
and you still like it to this day.
I still like it to this day,
Exactly. Even after having watched a bunch of other anime that you know are critically acclaimed,
Yeah.
and that are really good, like One Piece, like Brotherhood, and all of these amazing anime, and we still have respect for Fairy Tail at
Yeah,
the end
exactly.
of the day. So another thing,
because it's a good world. It's an interesting world.
Yep. No, it is.
It creates a world that you could relate to.
Yeah, and it gives you this setting, this guild that you really fond of.
That's the strongest thing about Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
Is the guild and the character relationships with each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like that people who do not watch the show are missing out on that.
Yeah,
because
very important.
It's Fairy Tail is a family.
Yeah,
and
you can rag on everything else
Yeah.
about Fairy Tail, but the second you insult the guild,
yeah, exactly.
when you mess with Fairy Tail, you mess with all of us.
And the writer does a good job of like making you feel like they're a family and like they're a bunch of kids who just didn't have.
Because like even when Lucy comes in, she's invited in with open arms.
Yeah,
immediately. It's so good. Yeah.
And the hype moments for Fairy Tail are just like super well done. Mirror Jane turning into her devil form.
Yeah.
Because you're ready for it.
Yeah.
Because you're waiting for things.
Yeah.
And like maybe a few things don't live up to expectations, such as Lizana.
Yeah. She wasn't utilized well, but the way she was brought back was
awesome.
Sick.
Yeah.
Using Edalus as a way to do that. The soundtrack.
Oh,
Can we just talk about the soundtrack?
Yeah.
Screw the openings and the endings. Okay,
Yeah.
There are good ones. There are bad ones. In any long-running anime, that's how it's going to go down. But when you look at the soundtrack is so solid.
It's amazing.
All this
Gaelic.
I want to call it Gaelic music.
Gaelic rock, pretty much.
Essentially, it's so every character has their own
theme,
going on for them,
and it just hypes you up. It makes you want to dance.
It's really good, and they're very, very memorable.
Yeah.
I out of any anime that I've ever watched, only OSTs that I have looked up are One Piece, Bleach, because I really liked the OST because there was a lot of violin, and Fairy Tail. Those are the only three that I've ever looked up.
I also think, along with Grand Magic Games, the soundtrack is like something everyone agrees on that's good.
Yeah, I think so. There was a lot of hate for it at the beginning of the series. As time went on, people really liked it. Now, I can't speak for the sub because I never watched.
Yeah,
the
I
sub.
never watched the sub.
So I think that plays in on a lot of people whether they like a series or not. Ultimately, the voice acting has a lot to do with it. So if you're somebody that's watched it subbed and not dubbed, that didn't like it subbed, give the dub a try.
Yeah.
And I think the same applies inversely. If you didn't like the dub, give the sub a try. That's for any anime. Because it might just have been a few voices, a few interactions that put you off.
Yeah.
So,
but I felt like the dub did a very good job.
Yeah, Todd as Natsu is sick.
Colleen as Urza is incredible.
Yeah, she's so good. Even, you know what, Cherami's voice I've gotten to love after hearing her in multiple things.
Yeah.
Her voice as Lucy is still very good. It's just Lucy's character that I don't like. Gray, I forget his voice actor's name.
He's good.
Wendy's
good.
Yeah, Wendy's.
Gashield's great.
Yeah, Gashield's amazing.
Loxus is amazing.
All of the voice acting. Loxus, that's his biggest role, I think. Everything else he does very minor roles.
Well, Frankie's probably bigger.
Yeah, Frankie. Yeah, you're right.
And Dio from JoJo, maybe.
As well. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so, there's some fantastic voice actors in the main cast, which are really, really good. Jamie Marchi as Kana. Kana was one of the first characters that I fell in love with in that series. Her voice is really, really nice, and I've heard it time and time again. Like I said, if you haven't checked out the dub or the sub, whichever one you haven't checked out yet, and you haven't liked Fairy Tail so far, check out the other one just in case. You might end up liking it, but that's pretty much our opinion on the topic.
I think we're good.
There's not much more to say. This episode is going to be a little bit shorter than our other ones, but the other ones were top 10 lists, and we really went into detail on every character. We each had a top 10 list, so this was really just defending an anime, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it was just...
Wow! I just saw that in our notes. Oh my god.
Just a fun thing to do, maybe change some people's perspectives, and maybe you won't agree with us still.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We all have different tastes, and... both of us like Fairy Tail, and we both enjoy it. And we have something to look forward to in 2018.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, guys, if you guys did enjoy, as usual, make sure to leave a like down below. Check out our other videos in the description down below. They might be there. If not, check out the channel. There aren't that many yet.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll probably be doing some extra work on the side.
Exactly. Also, don't be afraid. Let us know what you guys think we could do differently in the comments section down below. If you guys like this style of podcast, because that's pretty much what this is, without our faces on it. If you'd like to see different animations going on, obviously it requires more editing. But whatever you have in mind as suggestions.
Also, if you have suggestions for discussions that we can have, we'll be very open to it.
Definitely. We've watched a lot of popular anime among the spectrum, so if you guys have anything that you want to hear discussed, let us know. And that's pretty much going to be it, guys.
All right, take
Thanks
care,
for
guys.
watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.